Kyle here from All Media Reviews, here to do a collection update of sorts, and I feel like I'm going to have to rush through this, which isn't really doing it full justice, so I'll try to get through this as fast as possible. Book, some CDs, some of the stuff I've already shown on the channel, a lot of it I have not, though, and some vinyl, of course. So the first thing is I got a copy of My Effing Life from Geddy Lee, a holiday Christmas / Hanukkah present from a friend of my wife's. So I've only read a little bit of it, but there's a lot of stories, a lot of stuff about his life, his background, etc., with his family, with his parents, and then the history of Rush, of course. A lot of stories that were never fully disclosed. You know, I guess he doesn't really pull a lot of punches, so that really makes it for an entertaining read. So I've only read a little bit of it so far, but hopefully over the next... I never finished Stephen Wilson's book, though, but X number of weeks or months I'll get around to reading more of it and finishing it. So I did get, of course, I showed this on more than one of the prog streams, but never in a video, I don't think. And there's some agenda for these, but these are the two Kevin Gilbert Estate KMG releases, that the number 5 and number 6. Giraffe live at Cactus Club, San Jose, California, March 4th, 1989, which happened to be the final concert that Giraffe ever did. It was a month before the release of their new record, as I came to learn, like to the day, like April 4th or April 1st, 1989, A View From Here. They don't do any music from The View From Here on here, ironically. They do a lot of the stuff from almost the entire record on Power of Suggestion. Not the entire thing, but then they do Tired Old Man Suite and Nightmares, which, you know, Kevin wrote for Night of the Creeps that Martha Davis of the Motels ended up doing. So, yeah, I haven't listened to this a ton, but I listened a little bit and enjoying it. And then, of course, the Thud alternate, which doesn't come without some controversy, but these songs are all... There's arrangements that are different. There are arrangements that are different from the 20th anniversary edition on those second and third discs. And like I've mentioned once or twice, but I can repeat it, my hope and agenda to try to go through Thud, all the songs. I want to try to do a separate video talking about each specific track, at least the standard tracks. I mean, this has 12. This includes Kashmir, the uncontrolled mix, 2 versions of Waiting, the other version mix 2, and automated mix. I mean, there's extended stuff. It's like the studio tape is still rolling, but I know Kevin recorded more than one, like many versions of Thud. That's why this was released and was warranted it. So, I mean, for the fans, for a casual fan, they're probably not going to care that much. But most people like Thud, even that don't even know his catalog that well. So, anyway. All right, on to the vinyl. So, I'll just go through this. So, one of them I got was, I ordered, I'll admit that a large reason was to show in the 1978 list. This is the Alec R. Costadinos and the Symphonic Orchestra's Romeo and Juliet from 1978. It's 4 pieces, and it's, you know, I mentioned the 78. Looks like it was barely ever played, and I didn't pay that much for this. That's why I bought it, because I've been kind of holding off buying some vinyl. It's like prog dance music. I mean, it sounds like it's influenced by Donna Summer and like Giorgio Moroder, but then I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of cool fat synths and orchestrations in this. Kind of like Barry White. I love Barry White's love theme, and Barry White was genius for orchestration. Yeah, I marvel. I mean, I heard about this album 15 years ago on one of the message boards, and was surprised how much I enjoyed it. So, Romeo and Juliet, I don't know if it's based on some fictional version, just the fiction, the book, the story, theatrical, like a theater version, or one of the films. Tried and Sue was London. It was done in London. So, Alec R. Constantinos. I know he's done some other music. I listened to one of his other records. It wasn't nearly as good as this, but anyway. So, all right. So here's a really big deal to see this come on. I've mentioned it. The second Zero, the progressive metal band from the Bay Area, their second record, 2 different versions of their debut album. There's the Towers of Avarice, issued by, you know, Ken Golden and Laser's Edge. I don't know if it's actually Sensory, but the quote, Zero's Classic Towers of Avarice now received for its first ever vinyl release, features concept album that reads almost like a Marxist allegory, weaving intricately wrought progressive soundscapes. Heavy framework that owes as much to Meshuggah as Dream Theater. This is a classic. To have this and Green Carnation's Light of Day, Day of Darkness on vinyl is nothing short of not shocking, but very, I never would have expected. Unexpected, I guess you could say. Thick pressing, little labels here. Talking about specifics on this record, my favorite piece is the epic Demise Investi, just like 15 minutes. Although I've always felt like that piece, it builds and then it gets up to like the climax. And the climax doesn't last long enough. It could last for longer. Anyway, Stratagem. The whole record is just like a tour de force. It's like a clinic in like technical metal. I mean, it's like Cynic and Fate's Warning and Watchtower. Eric Rosvold's vocal style really works. He sounds a little bit like Jeff Tate at points, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, all the music they've done hasn't been to the same degree. I still like a lot of their music. I have most of their albums. Even the stuff, the synthesis stuff, but this record was their masterpiece. I don't know. I'd love to see. They put out some good stuff. The album that came out 22, I thought was okay, but was it last year? I can't remember. I thought it was 22. And even with Eric back, of course, the Tipton brothers rather. Jason's still with them, but Troy's not. He can't play bass anymore, unfortunately. But he does sing in that, forget the name of the project. But anyway, it's great to see that. For progressive metal history, the Towers of Avarice is essential. If you want to hear the mid period of progressive metal, not the last 15 years, but late 90s, early 2000s, I have Orphan Land's Mabul, and having Green Carnation's Light, to have those three on vinyl is just remarkable. So, all right, so now here is, I don't show both of them. I did show this in the Albums of the Year video. Giant Sky 2, that's the name of it, the double album. I didn't really show it in detail. It's a gatefold. Giant Sky, Erland, with Soup, and now this new project that's very post-space rock. Thick pressings there, these labels. Really thick pressings. I messed up in that after I ordered this, because I had been hesitant on the first album, but I love the first album. In fact, at this point, I probably prefer the first album more. I didn't buy them together, but to spoil what I'm going to show in just a minute. But yeah, this has all the lyrics. I mean, it was in my top, whatever it was, 4 or 5 records of this past year. It wasn't in the top 3, but it was right up there. Even though it came out so late, and I've only listened to it a handful of times. It's very cinematic, and it's like the ending sounds like the ending of a movie. There's more styles explored. It's darker. It's more than the first album. Yeah, it's still growing on me to an extent. I guess we'll see in a few years where this compares, and I'm glad I got a copy on vinyl. So it just arrived today. My copy of the first Giant Sky, which this is oh my god, this is so much less is more, and debut album from the songwriter of post-rock underground legend Soup, yeah, Erland by Viken. I wanted to get this, and I'll admit it was not cheap, mainly because of the shipping. It was very, very much like Mask of the Phantasm. Both this record and Mask of the Phantasm was just like. And the new record, Giant Sky 2, was not cheap either, but he's an independent artist, and the music is of really good quality. And this, every time I hear it, it's just got such great charm and flow to it. It's kind of a grayish, or like not a gray, but like a green. I don't know, like a mud green, or I'm not sure, avocado green, kind of. But yeah, I mean, this record is, most people that hear it like it. Anyone who likes post-rock or prog. Even if anyone's a Pink Floyd fan, is this a double? No, I think the other, it's a gatefold with 2 pockets, but came with this book. This is like a second pressing. I would have liked to have had the original pressing, but probably get more with the second pressing, the lyrics and everything. Female and male vocals, and again, Giant Sky, you know, very mesmerizing music. This first record is fantastic. I'm glad I have both these records on vinyl, and very soundtrack-like, you know, has all the lyrics. It's only like a 40-minute record, this record. They use a really great instrumentation. There's just a lot to love about this record. The new record as well. So, all right, so yeah, I have a few more and I'll be done. I can get going here because I got some stuff I need to worry about. Steven Wilson, I showed this in my Albums of the Year list. Here's my vinyl copy of the Harmony Codex. A lot of people have seen it. Of course, this is not the Dolby Atmos version, but you know, I had to push himself. I probably like Future Brights just as much, and I have To the Bone. I don't even have Hand Con Ray, so I still need to get that. But cool, you know, labels. I mean, you know, the staircase is my favorite part of this. And, economy of scale. That's another highlight for me. It's a soundtrack. I don't know. Again, whether this record, all these records that are newer, what kind of mileage they're going to get down the road is still, you know, that remains to be seen. But you know, and I wasn't blown away by this record. A lot of people were right away. Look at that jacket right there. It's got the lyrics. It's just a varied style. We talked about this on the podcast with Dr. Spin, and it was like number one or number two, number one, I think, that year on the list of the Viewer's Choice for Dr. Spin's tournament showdown. It's not just 2023 releases, but it's music to listen to in the year 2023. And how this album has so many different styles, yet it is cohesive in a way, but it doesn't have as many earworms. But some of the songs are growing on me, like what is it? Beautiful Scarecrow, Time Is Running Out, Actual Brutal Facts. I'm still kind of not so crazy about. You know, What Life Brings. Inclination people love. I'm not as crazy about the title track. It sounds like a Tangerine Dream piece, really, but that's basically the extent of it. So, all right, so I got a couple more. I finally did pick up Sufjan Stevens, Illinois, my second favorite Sufjan Stevens album. Cool gatefold. Has Chicago. I thought I showed this already on camera, but if I did, I apologize. But anyway, great record. It's great to have it on vinyl. I have between that and maybe I showed it on a previous. I may have done a vinyl update before the last one. Illinois, you know, it's got a lot of other tracks I enjoy from John Wayne Gacy Jr. The titles are just so long. You know, there's more than a half a dozen tracks in this record that have moments that just the chamber moments and the different dynamics that he uses. I thought I showed this, but you know, I probably did, and you know, because I had opened it. Yeah, I have a memory of showing this, so my apologies since this is redundant. A second showing of a record I got recently. Now I'm gonna have to close this up here. So all right, only a couple more left. My wife got this for me as a holiday gift. Back to the Future soundtrack, which was my first, I don't know, the first or second Huey Lewis thing I owned. This is an orange vinyl. It has Power of Love, of course, and Back in Time. Some other songs like Earth Angel and Eric Clapton, Johnny Be Good, of course. Of course, it's listed. Is it listed as Marty McFly on there? Doesn't it? Yeah. Marvin Berry and the Stranglers, Earth Angel. G. Berry, yeah, Chuck Berry, performed by Marty McFly and the Starlighters. The Starlighters? Stain and stuff, but Time Bomb. I mean, it's not a long record. It's probably only like 30 minutes. I'm with some clips from the movie, but it was really about those two Huey Lewis songs that I loved growing up, and were like among the very first music, not very first, but close to the first music that I was into. It's just for nostalgia's sake. It's great to have one of my favorite, you know, early childhood memory releases on vinyl. So, So I probably showed these two too. I thought I did. Silver City from Falling Up and Team Me's Return to the Riverside. I thought I already showed them. So they're both good records. This is a concept album about Christmas. I thought I showed this. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. But yeah, because I was trying to remember, you know, it's like you don't do these periodically, you forget. It's like you keep the stuff, you put them back on the shelf. Well, I'll just show this really. I need to get the other Team Me records, but I have Blind as Night on vinyl, but I need to get the other. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I showed this. This was on my top 5 records. This was number 5, in fact, from 2023. My favorite track is My Great Escape, which, you know, not to be confused with Marillion's Great Escape, but they have a pretty much a flawless catalog. Team Me. They have 4 records, and I enjoy all of them. Not all equal, but pretty close to equal. But there aren't any. I mean, Acid Rain, The Apple of My Eye. It's more acoustic. It's more like the River Empires. Or it's like it has more of. It's a little more stripped down. There's not as many gang vocals on this, but a band from Norway that sounds a lot like Mew, or had sounds less like Mew on this record, Return to the Riverside. But and Silver City, which is one of many Falling Up records, that a couple records they released on vinyl finally. It does have Oh Holy Night, and it's got a bunch of sort of standards, but they're reinterpreted. And I just wanted to buy one of the records that they were putting out, and someone recommended on my River Empires video. I remember telling this exact same story. So anyway, this is a vinyl update and maybe slightly rehash. My apologies for that. Oh, this has got like a download card or something in here. Yeah, that's right, because he thanked me. Yeah, I showed these, So that's caught up everything I've picked up in the last couple months. What have you picked up? What did you get for the holidays if you haven't already gone onto your channel and shown it? Or just be curious, even if you don't have a channel but you're watching this video. But thank you for watching. Please leave a comment about, you know, what you've seen, what you've got picked up, or what you're looking for. Subscribe, ring the bell for the notifications, and we'll see you next time.